if Brian Kelly really wanted to do his players a solid out the door, he'd push it to like 9 a.m., 10 a.m. When he's just going to deliver a speech that we've already read and seen online that was about 4 minutes in length, and then so many people are saying then he just walked out, didn't take any questions. What else is there to say? There's nothing else to say. And I know he's going to get a ton of heat and is getting a ton of heat for all of that stuff. Certainly since, as I pointed out yesterday, Mike, you were gone. You weren't here. As I pointed out yesterday, feeling my oats this week, because this is my week, really, that Notre Dame's head coaching position is now officially a stepping stone from Cincinnati to LSU. And there's also a video that LSU put out yesterday morning, just after he spoke to his team, a hype video of Brian Kelly talking about how, terrific this job is, using all the pundits in the sports world about how terrific this job is. Another way to point out, it is a stepping stone. Oof. And that's tough for everyone to swallow in Notre Dame country. And it's tough for a lot of college football fans to swallow without any sort of fandom in the direction of Notre Dame, because you've got to sit there and think about all of the players in that room who followed this man to the school, who bought what he was selling. And all I will say is this: don't get angry at Brian Kelly. Don't get angry at Lincoln Riley either. Right. You turned down those terms. Lincoln Riley got private jets for his family. He got his house bought by USC, $500,000 over market value.
2 houses, right?
Yeah, right?
Because they are currently building one.
Yeah. They got it all bought off. Okay, you go home and you tell your spouse, hey, guess what? Our mortgage is paid. No, don't take that job.
And he got a $6 million house in town.
Don't take that job. Yeah. Don't take that job. Please don't take that job. I don't want to move the kids out of school, which, by the way, might be a conversation that is had between spouses, which makes it interesting that Lincoln Riley said his deal was done in 8 hours. That's a spousal conversation that might take a little longer than 8 hours, but we'll take everything at face value, even though that face and the value is sketchy. Don't get angry at them. Get angry at the school presidents and the NCAA that sets up something like December 15th for an early signing period that makes all of these schools go hunting for somebody else's coaches in the middle of a season. These deals, there's no way these deals get done like that. And I understand that a lawyer's on a plane, an attorney's on a plane. That's because he's going over the fine print with the coach. There's a lot of fine print in these things. They don't just, these aren't boilerplate. They don't just come out of nowhere. But they have to be planned in advance. So Brian Kelly, he's leaving his team and right in the outset of a national championship possibility. Well, he's supposed to wait and see if he does make the national championship semifinal. Then what? And LSU will just sit back and wait for another month and then another 2 weeks after that in case he does go on a run. And maybe the guy that they want will think about, hey, maybe I do want to stay here. I just won a championship. And then you lose your guy. Or the guy's not going to sit there. I mean, honestly, it's an untenable scenario that is being set up by the people in charge of the sport that allows this stuff to happen. Member schools who are poaching other member schools and have to do it because there are kids to be gotten right now. And this is the sport that we all love. And watch and sit for 4 hours. By the way, all people who used to complain how long NFL games are. Yeah. We sit on a Saturday 4 hours and talk about how epic it is. It went 5 overtimes and a 2-point conversion festival at the end of a 3.5-hour game. Let me tell you something. Toughest part of Michigan-Ohio State this weekend for me was sitting through those 4-minute long commercial breaks that felt like 10 minutes long. Really? Okay? Score, commercial break, kickoff commercial. Then we got to have a monster-long halftime to put the bands out there. Oh, we sit through all of this and love it. And if you don't like this, I don't know, call your school president. If you're an alumni associate, call him up and say, how are we going to prevent this happening from our coach? So, my 2 cents on that. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.